Welcome to the Ramayan, Stories of Dharm and Devotion. I'm Sandeep, your storyteller, guiding you through the timeless epic of Valmiki's Ramayan. Our narrative draws deeply from Valmiki's original text and is enriched with stories from other Indian traditions, offering you a complete and immersive experience of this eternal tale. Over the past several episodes, we have journeyed through the Sundara Kanda, an awe-inspiring saga centered on Hanuman, the devoted messenger of Ram. We've seen him transform from a humble Vanar to a divine warrior whose faith and bravery lit the path toward the war for Dharm. Today, before we embark on the next grand chapter, let us take a moment to reflect on what Sundara Kanda truly teaches us and why it remains the beating heart of the Ramayan.
Sundara Kanda begins with a single monumental leap, a moment that has echoed across centuries as a symbol of devotion and divine courage. As Hanuman stood poised on the peak of Mount Mahendra, gazing at the vast ocean stretching between him and Lanka, this was no mere physical challenge. It was a spiritual awakening. Encouraged by the wise Jambavan, Hanuman rediscovered the dormant divinity within him. No man or Vanar had ever attempted such a feat. But when one aligns with Dharm and anchors themselves in love and purpose, no distance is too great. As he flew across the ocean, the elements themselves became his test. Sursa, the mother of serpents, rose from the waters demanding to devour him. But Hanuman, with calm wit, entered her mouth and emerged instantly, winning her blessings. Then came Sinhika, who grabbed his shadow, symbolic of inner fear and unseen doubts. But Hanuman, undeterred, tore through her with force. Finally, at the gates of Lanka, a demoness in the form of the city itself tried to bar his entry. Hanuman, ever composed, subdued her too. These were not just physical encounters, they were reflections of the trials every seeker faces: ego, fear, and resistance. Hanuman overcame them not with brute strength, but with intelligence, humility, and steadfast focus on Ram. Once inside the golden city of Lanka, Hanuman searched every palace, every chamber, not for glory, but for one soul, Sita. After a long and heart-breaking search, he found her under a tree in Ashok Vatika, surrounded by terrifying female demons, her hair unkempt, her body emaciated by fasting, her spirit clinging to the hope of Ram. Yet, she had not lost her dignity. She had not bowed to despair. When Hanuman approached her, he didn't speak of war or victory. He spoke gently. He invoked Ram's name, recounted stories only she would know, and showed her Ram's ring, a token of truth. Her tears were not of sorrow, but of sudden hope. Hanuman, moved by her suffering, offered to carry her back on his shoulders. He would end her pain in a single leap. But Sita refused, not out of doubt, but out of deep conviction. She believed in Ram. She believed that justice must not be taken, but restored through righteous means. Ram must come for her, not just as her beloved, but as the upholder of Dharm. Before leaving, Hanuman gave her solace. He assured her an army would come, led by Ram and Lakshman. That Lanka would fall. And Sita, gently, gave him a token, her head ornament, and a memory from Chitrakoot of a crow that once wounded her, and how Ram's fury had flared at even that slight injury. Remind Ram, she said, of who he is. Remind him of who I am. Hanuman did not leave Lanka quietly. After ensuring Sita's safety, he unleashed a storm. He destroyed Ashok Vatika, slew Raavan's warriors, and faced Indrajit himself. When finally captured using a divine missile, Hanuman chose restraint, for he wished to meet Raavan face to face. In court, he stood proudly as Ram's messenger, speaking not threats, but truth. When Raavan ordered his tail to be burned, Hanuman used the flames to deliver Ram's message. He leapt through the golden city, setting it ablaze. But he spared one home, that of Vibhishan, the righteous soul amidst darkness. Returning to Mount Mahendra, Hanuman paused only briefly. He bowed again to Sita and soared back across the ocean. When he landed, the Vanar Sena rejoiced. And when he stood before Ram and placed the jewel in his hand, Ram's composure broke. He pressed it to his heart. Tears flowed. It was not grief, it was love, vast and sacred. In Hanuman's journey, we find not just heroism, but an instruction for life. That courage and faith must walk together. That love, when rooted in Dharm, becomes the force that can set the world right. That even one devotee, when fully awakened, can shake kingdoms and carry hope across oceans. Sundara Kanda is not just beautiful because of what happens, it is beautiful because of how it happens. With loyalty, restraint, wisdom, and undying love.
Now, as we transition into the Yuddh Kanda, we prepare for the greatest battle in this divine saga. But Sundara Kanda is not just a prelude to war. It is the soul of the Ramayana. It teaches us that even one soul, guided by faith, can move mountains, cross oceans, and rekindle hope in the darkest hour. Sundara Kanda is Hanuman's Kanda, but in truth, it is the story of every being who serves selflessly, who stands for love, and who never gives up even when the odds are overwhelming. Join me in the next episode as we begin Yuddh Kanda, where Ram, Lakshman, and the Vanar Sena prepare to face Raavan's might. Share this podcast with your loved ones, and may the lessons of Sundara Kanda inspire your journey toward Dharm and devotion. Though the details of this ancient tale may vary across traditions, its essence remains unchanged, a beacon for all who choose courage over fear, love over anger, and Dharm over despair. Until next time, may the light of Dharm illuminate your path and fill your heart with peace.